Hi guys, I'm Shmee, hello and welcome back to the channel where you join me today with Aston Martin to take a first look at the new Valhalla. Now behind me here we have a fantastic display, the Aston Martin 177 and the one-off Victor, but we're going to head past these and go straight down to the display showroom to take a look at the near production ready Valhalla. There are two extraordinary cars to take a quick look at here, the Aston Martin 177 and the one-off Victor. Now I make no secret the 177 is one of my favourite cars of all time, a beautiful design based around the golden ratio, timeless elegance and a fantastic naturally aspirated V12 with a number of design elements that we're going to start to see some of in Valhalla as well. It is one of only 77 units in total, the ultimate in exclusivity until of course you arrive at Victor. And just look at this car as we walk towards it, heading on by to go check out the Valhalla. It is a one-off inspired by the Vanquish of the 80s, but built around that V12, very much race car, but with a manual gearbox. This is a bespoke creation, a one-off, and it is absolutely epic to say the least. But let's head straight on through because today we're going to check out Valhalla. This is it then, come on inside. The new Aston Martin Valhalla. Let's take a full walk around to go through all of the details of the first series production mid-engined Aston Martin, this stunning car to behold in front of us. Now this has evolved from the concept that we initially saw being launched just over 2 years ago in 2019, the AMRB 003 that was the concept, then named Valhalla, again a V name as is tradition from Aston Martin, similar even to the Valkyrie, and this of course sits in the lineup as a supercar beneath the hypercar level that makes the Valkyrie. This is a hybrid. It's fitted with a 4-litre flat plane crank V8 along with 2 electric motors, one on the front axle, one on the rear, for a total output of 950 horsepower and 1,000 newton meters of torque. A bespoke built 8-speed dual clutch transmission with E-reverse to save weight. Of course, the car heavily being based around manufacturing techniques and weight-saving materials, carbon fiber, for example, the carbon fiber tub, a lot of carbon fiber body panels. We've got all sorts of different technology that have been integrated into this new design, but just to explore some of the details, we've got an active rear spoiler that will come up to various different positions, have a look at the Venturi tunnel effects that you get through this incredible rear diffuser. A bespoke set of tyres is being made for the car as well. Of course, this is the model and opportunity to see how the car is going to look, but it's evolved significantly from the original Valhalla as we saw it before. If we start right up at the front to have a look at some of these details up close, this traditional line, the curved shape around the front nose of an Aston Martin, again giving you that effect across the grille, the horizontal slats that sit beneath it, the assistance systems and radar control that you have there. Down below, this extended front carbon spoiler, which will also offer some active aero and finalized functionality. In fact, the car is 95% as it's going to be in its final form. As we come round, there's a new headlight design, slightly larger than before, which just gives it, I think, a little bit more presence, a little bit more all-rounded. We've got 20-inch wheels at the front, 21-inch at the rear, and then between them, the incredibly complicated and clever aerodynamics that the car offers. The upper surfaces, you'll notice, are all very smooth and clean, the aero being kept beneath the car or integrated into the bodywork. You've got the traditional style of side strakes incorporated into this as well, the way the body panels overlap. Then you've got the intakes, of course, for cooling, for releasing the swelling air that you have from the wheel arches. And in fact, have a look over, you can see the exposed top of the tyres to help release the air to allow it to escape over, and of course all of this operating in a similar functionality. You have airflow coming through the grille, up and over the top of the car towards the roof snorkels. But back here, this is from lessons learned with Valkyrie, the style to create turbulent air, different Venturi effects, and the way the air manages itself going around the sides of the car. Back here, similarly, different intakes for cooling, for various different things, for the induction, for the cooling, for the oil cooler, and then the exhaust tailpipes sit back here on the rear deck as well, in front of the Aston Martin badge. And you have all of these lovely design elements, and of course, the exposed carbon on this active rear spoiler. At the rear, the Aston Martin logo sits in the center, but look at how open and exposed all of these different areas are. The tail lights have been incorporated from Valkyrie, very similar in fact also to what we've seen on the Victor. This is all just something amazing to behold. Now, talking about the engine, the 4-litre twin turbocharged V8. The original concept idea was to have a hybrid V6. They've gone with the V8, which itself offers 750 horsepower. Combine that with the 2 electric motors, making a total of 204. You get an effective total output of 950 horsepower and 1,000 Newton meters. Of course, with the electric motors offering torque fill, meaning effectively all-wheel drive, with most of the power going to the rear. In fact, all of the electric power can actually be sent to the rear if required. The 0 to 100 km/h time, the 62 mph time, is just 2.5 seconds, and Valhalla will go on to a top speed of 330 km/h, 217 mph. But perhaps by far the biggest ambition in terms of performance metrics is that the Valhalla intends to lap the Nurburgring Nordschleife in a time of sub 6.5 minutes, below 6 minutes and 30 seconds, which would of course make it a lap record holder, and I can't wait to see if that should be done. Now, compared to the Valkyrie, you can tell it's a larger car. It's clearly longer in its proportions and wider as well, while still being very low and very sleek as we're standing here and looking at it, but it aims to be more of a usable, let's say, GT car. There will be luggage space. You will be able to take it on a longer trip, for example. It will be slightly more comfortable, not quite the same shoulder-to-shoulder seating position, while still having very much an F1 style to it. In fact, your heels would be above your hips when you're sat inside the car. Think about that, sat really right down into the tub, really feeling the driving experience that comes with it. In terms of creature comforts, there'll be a fixed display in the center, and of course we don't have the full interior to explore at this stage as we're just looking at the model of the car. That will come in the future, but I think it bodes to be a very, very exciting driving experience when all is said and done. For the track, Valhalla actually offers a total downforce figure of 600 kilos using a number of different active aero components. It also features a very clever suspension system. We've got a multi-link setup at the rear, but at the front, a Formula One derived push rod setup, which will no doubt give it immense steering feel and drivability and help achieve these intended lap times, which of course won't be as fast as Valkyrie, but compared, I guess, to pretty much anything else, will certainly be right up there. Now, in terms of production, the car will cost 600 to 700,000 pounds, including taxes. It's limited by time. They will be built for 2.5 years, with deliveries starting in Q4 2023. It won't be a limited number per se. It is a series production model, Aston Martin's first series production mid-engined supercar, full stop. Something very exciting given the various different concepts and models that have been launched as they really enter a new era with the Formula One team, with more motorsports happening as well, and of course with the Valkyrie arriving on the market. We've got a specific wheel design for the car, the 20 inches up front, the carbon ceramic brakes that sit behind, the center lock mechanism as well, and look at the ride height. There's no variable ride height, although it does have a number of different settings in terms of the ride comfort and dynamics. There'll be the bespoke set of Michelin tires, the Cup 2 Rs that will go on the car. We've got the Pilot Sport Cup 2s here. They will be 285 at the front and 335 at the rear on a 21-inch wheel as opposed to the 20 at the front. But what you really notice is how clean the design is over the top of the car, as opposed to this radical aero that you see when you start to look underneath it, how open it is, how all of the shapes work so well. This very low rear deck, but with the horizontal lines running across it that just give it so much presence. Imagine seeing this out on the road. It is really and truly supercar defined. Now, of course, the performance numbers that come with 950 horsepower are up there in hypercar territory, but this really being positioned as the supercar in the lineup, beneath the Valkyrie as the hypercar, and above the Vanquish concept, which will no doubt follow in a few years down the line as it's been shown more as a mid-engined sports car, we could say. Now, there might be future derivatives, but nothing is yet in the works. I suppose it wouldn't be a surprise if a track-only version of an AMR Pro Valhalla would arrive, or potentially maybe a Spider or a Roadster, but nothing like that is currently being planned. But for me, walking around this, I was instantly blown away. It is very, very impressive and boasts some incredible numbers and details when you start to look at it up close. close. As the world moves more and more towards e-mobility, Valhalla does offer pure electric driving. In addition to the combustion engine, it houses a small battery pack to power the 2 electric motors for a maximum electric-only range of 9 miles, about 15 kilometers, at a maximum speed on electric only of 80 miles per hour, 130 kilometers per hour. Now, it's a plug-in hybrid electric vehicle to be able to charge from an electric power supply or from the combustion engine. Of course, a short range for driving in town, to arrive or depart from home discreetly, but also to help with the performance, to give that instant torque fill that it can provide. The 4-wheel drive system, of course, with the electric motors at the front axle to help with early power from the line or out of corners to achieve some of those lap times. But walking around it, this has been reworked in a very, very nice way. It's a huge, huge step on from the Valhalla as it was originally presented, to take in the new design. It's very, very clean and well presented over the top, to have the tailpipes exiting back here, to have this roof snorkel, of course the butterfly style doors that open upwards and outwards, and to integrate all of these aero elements and different design features that you can see. Traditional Aston Martin elements with the side strakes and these horizontal grille slats around the front, but also some of the very clever aero and F1 tech that's been learnt as well with Valkyrie, with participating in Formula 1 and with many of the other racing projects and different things that are in the works. This is a very, very special car and will have some very lucky customers. But what an amazing opportunity to be able to see it here and take a first look around. There we have it then, the Aston Martin Valhalla, a first opportunity to take a look around the 95% production ready car, a significant change from what we've seen before. The company now with a new CEO, Tobias Moors, of course with a new engine and powertrain setup as well, but a very significant car for Aston Martin, a very exciting car, and one I cannot wait to see more of, to see the interior revealed, to hear how it sounds, and hopefully eventually to experience also what this is going to be like to drive. No doubt in any normal world without the Valkyrie sitting as part of the Aston Martin lineup, this would really stand out as a proper hypercar. It's learnt from Valkyrie, it's incorporated different details in terms of the design, the engineering, the technology and the aerodynamics to create something new, something distinct in its own right as well, and the customers of these are no doubt going to enjoy them a lot when deliveries start at the end of 2023, kicking off a 2.5-year production run for the new model and the start of some very exciting mid-engined series production adventures for Aston Martin in the future. But that's it for now. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this first look at the Aston Martin Valhalla. Thank you for watching. As always, your support is hugely appreciated, and I'll see you again very soon. Cheers!